who is my mission. All I came to do is set the whole mess straight. All I came to do is set the whole mess straight. All I did is set the whole mess straight. All I came to do is set the whole mess straight.
they raised a buku amount of money on the pretense they just was going to take better pictures of the Mars surface because they said they believed that the face was a result of shattering. Alright, every time they tried to get close to Mars, they had a problem. The last time they got up there with the help of Russia, they took lots of pictures and they brought it back, and they cannot disprove that it's a face. Then they found a second face, a more oval-shaped face, which they then attacked and said, now this is shadows. But what they did, they said, we verified that the face on Mars is shadow. And they were talking about the second face, not the first face. So they tried to undermine the public by saying, NASA discovered the face on Mars is based on shadow. But they never addressed the one that Hoagland was talking about. They went to this new one in the government because you got to watch the way they work. Because what they do is they'll see an incident, like a UFO incident, and they'll put everybody's attention on Roswell because they know they can pull out documents to make Roswell look stupid, and they take your mind off Canada or the craft on Island or the craft in the Russians or the field. And then what they do is they do it's high psychology. They say, look over here. They have put on television. So what they did is the government came up with that face, the wrong face. So everybody said, see, now there's another face, and it took it away from the Sphinx. Because the other was saying, is when you flip the face, backwards and forward, you come out with a line in its face, and it must have related to the Sphinx. But at the same time, there were other scientists proving that the Sphinx goes back 10,000 years before the 46 dynasties of Egyptians. So they're trying to figure out why the Sphinx has a lemur's horn, which is the headdress of the lion, because it looks like the so-called headdress that most of the women still wear today. It's a symbol of the lion's mane. And they were trying to figure out how they wear that horse in ancient Egypt before the 46 dynasties came in and brought in that kind of dress. Because past them now, if you ever seen statues of past and certain deities that predate the 46 dynasties, they don't have the headdress on or the vermilion that appears to be Egyptian of a certain era. They're all just standing there, mostly almost like Africans, top gear, regular hairstyles, no eyebrows, the Phoenician and Greek invasions, and the Arabian Egypt. So what happened is they always got to counteract. They could not deal with when they started bursting the faces, and they had these scientists who have a now way, which is in computers, where they, somebody might know more about it than I, where they take a flat surface and they put it in a computer and it enhances the dimensions of it. Anybody ever turn things to that? Well, they have now most of the writings you see in books and everything now. The computer brings it flat, and they have a software that can enhance it. Well, they're able to take flat surfaces and know what the dimensions. They got the dimensions of the face. And it proved that that is a face on Mars. Then they went about logging certain pyramids that was there. They have to be about the same distance from pyramids of Nubia, not of pyramids that are in Giza. So the Sphinx hadn't been there. When the purpose of, let's say, Asaru was built, long before the purpose was up in Giza. And this is coming the whole Egyptologist community is at a race. They took the two scientists that had proved that the Sphinx had water damage, right? And they are excellent out of the scientific community. They banned. Then the other one, those two guys, I can't remember his name right now, who showed how the three pyramids lined up with the Orion star. They also have now been banned out of scientific. But they have a way, if you started the scientific community, it's very tightly knit. And if you started revealing things that the council don't sit around and agree on, they ban it straight up. And all your books and everything, that's why Dr. What's the brother's name who does stuff like all that? He has a funny name. Van Servan. That's why they don't recognize him. That's why at a certain point they stopped recognizing Dr. Ben. That's why Dr. Jeffries got badges. That's why Dr. Francis Wallenstein got badges. They'll take you right out of existence and make everything you say look like you made it up or you're lying. That's a format. But they're at a point now where things are starting to manifest that they can no longer explain. They're beyond themselves. And what happens is people, the normal person, is beginning we don't trust lawyers. Right? We don't trust the Board of Education. We don't trust the court system, the legal system. We don't trust it. So what is happening on the planet? People are going away. And basically people are going to start saying, our tax money pays for policemen. Our tax money pays for teachers. Our tax money pays for legal aid. Our tax money for why the hell am I doing this? And that economy will collapse because he won't be able to play with his little wacky toys if we stop giving him our money. So he starts creating and studying all kinds of events, to try to take our attention off what's really happening in the world. The moment that he cannot do anything about farming. That any given time, because he had opened the gates up, so busy worrying about money, he let that slimy ass Alex in there. Now they're all over the place. It was once just in 7-Eleven. Now they're everywhere you look. And now the slimy Alex are converting young Negroes to Islam. Everybody is Islam, not just their purity. Everybody is just walking around. Some Negroes want to be Pakistani and want to be this. And now they're using them as tools against them. So it's not like they see it in a situation to say, that's now, keep an eye on him. Now they got Negroes. So much money to spend on. Open up the house to trade, that's how dumb they are. So they realize that that's because people are losing respect. And they didn't give us an hierarchy to respect. We don't have anybody. We got Dr. Martin Luther King, what you do? And there you are. And we like Dr. Muhammad, what you do? If we like Muhammad, what you do? If we like Muhammad Saad, what you do? And if we like Muhammad, what you do? So that we remove all the images of respect. We have, as I said before, no agenda. We have no political agenda. We have no education. We have no economic agenda. We're just existing at this point as a people. That don't mean black and white. I mean just people in America have no agenda. We have no goals. We can't even introduce a new political party. So with a certain intent, we're still dealing with Democrats and Republicans. So it's a little bit creative. You understand what I'm saying? And they realize that they're losing a grip on it. They're losing control of it. So they got to come up with light excitement. They got to stage events. What they tend to do is make a large level all together just so they can move that up. So all of the thousands of other sites where they never addressed in the way Sigmund Freud would have acted. Let somebody analyze. Let's analyze the UFO phenomena from a psychiatrist's standpoint of view. Alright? Here in Arabia, a man who had nothing to do with a woman in Australia, who had nothing to do with a man in Germany, who had nothing to do with a man in Trinidad, who had nothing to do with a woman in Hawaii, who had nothing to do with, the special world like that. These people speak different languages, come from different cultures. Some of them are Christians, some of them are Muslims, some of them are Buddhists, some of them are Zen. They have nothing to do with religion, cross the barrier, some of them have atheists.
In Lawrence, Michigan, Dan Wright, former deputy director of MUFON, is compiling data from alien abduction experiences throughout North America. It is an unprecedented program called the MUFON Alien Abduction Transcription Project, and its goal is to create a comprehensive computer database of abduction experience.
These are people from all walks of life, equal numbers, approximately, of males and females, and of an age from early childhood until perhaps in one's 50s.
UFO abduction phenomenon appears to be worldwide. Quite early, there were cases coming out of South America, out of Britain in particular. The numbers of cases have been growing almost exponentially. When I did my study in 1987, I found approximately 300 cases in the literature. Dating back to about 1992, an additional 500 have appeared. So I would say the number is certainly in the thousands, probably a great deal more.
I would say was laying in my bed. You hear me? And some little men with big heads, about 1 feet tall, came to the wall or to the doors of my sleep. You understand? And they had these big, horrifying eyes up like bugs, and long arms and fingers, and they took me to some place, I'm not sure. Now mind you, somebody saying this in Spanish. Another person is saying in Arabic. Another person is saying in wu-nuwaupu. Another one is saying in Yoruba. And I know the Thai, all the languages. These are people saying in their language. You see what I'm talking about? What the expert explains is the same thing some woman in Utah saying.
Well, I'm laying in my bed, and they came right through the walls. Somehow, I don't know exactly how they do it, but these guys just came right through the wall.
Alice believes her first experience with extraterrestrials happened during an abduction.
Hypnosis, when I looked at this event, I stopped the car. I looked over, and I saw this huge craft hanging over both sides of the road, just sitting there. And I was watching this thing. It was kind of a blunt silver gray. And I saw 6 beings coming near the car, coming toward me. They were gray, large black eyes. I was just stunned. I was panicked, and I was screaming inside my head because I wanted to get away, but I couldn't scream out loud. It was very frightening. I was terrified.
The spacecraft beamed light into the desert, which formed a sort of pulsating golden half moon. From inside appeared a silhouette with arms outstretched. I understood they were telling me to approach them. Once I entered the light, I felt like my whole body was burning up. It was so intense, I had to close my eyes. But what I could see, what I could observe, was that this craft seemed to have entered the sea, and at some enormous depth there were huge ships. According to them, the motherships had landed at the bottom of the ocean.
At first, I just saw a bright light, kind of like silver, a very, very bright light. And then, I could see like 2 black people, but then very, very black. And one was near the spaceship, and one was a bit forward. It was like very, very bright. And I thought, like, when I first saw it, I just said, well, I don't believe it, because it's like someone was pointing a mirror this way. But then I just changed my mind because it was very bright.
Well, it was like a very shiny object then. It was like so shiny, like the sun was reflecting off it. And it was shimmering in that. And it was like an egg laying on its side, you know, like kind of an oval shape. And it was very, very shiny in that. And I didn't actually see any people walking around, but all the rest of the guys here did.
Around like a big head, just like a big head. But then the body was not very small, but then it was fair, and it was short, and it was wearing black.
Cockpit of a Boeing 737 over the southern Andes of Argentina.
The UFO was here, static. Initially, we thought it was moving towards us. But as we got closer to a turning point, the lights on the UFO became brighter. I was concerned and began signaling to the object with our own lights. The lights on the UFO then dipped, as if it was responding to us. I just didn't know what to make of it.
Bonnybridge in Scotland. Over 7 years, more than 2,000 people have come forward with their evidence for extraterrestrial invasion.
A friend and I arrived here to take photographs for a college project that we were on. And over beside the pylons, the 2 flashing pylons over at Kincardine, power station, we noticed two small lights, what we assumed to be a helicopter or a plane. As we were watching it, it moved over towards Grangemouth Stadium, and it hovered for about a minute. And then what we noticed was the lights, what we thought were turned off, actually the object turned round and the lights were on the other side of it. And from there, what happened was it tipped and swooped and then flew directly over our heads, and I pointed the camera up to the sky and pressed the button, and the photograph that I did actually get was pretty spectacular.
September 19th, 1961, 10 p.m. While traveling south on Route 3 in New Hampshire, something happened to Betty and Barney Hill. Something so traumatic, the Hills claimed, that it would take several years and a hypnosis session in 1963 to trigger memories of what had really happened to them that night. In this rarely seen British documentary, the Hills offered shocking details of their experience.
We went on board. First, they took Barney into one room, and I went into a second room. In this room, they did what I would call a fairly simple physical examination. Also, there was another examination where they tried to insert an instrument, needle-like instrument, just below my navel. And this caused pain. The leader, the one I call the leader, put his hand out over my eyes. The pain went away.
They took me into a room. I was told to disrobe, and I was embarrassed. I didn't want to undress, and yet I couldn't stop. They told me to take my wedding rings off, which I did. And then they led me to a table and laid me down. I remember them telling me that I was either going to have a baby or that I was pregnant. I wasn't quite sure. But what they had done was remove a fetus from me and implanted another, which was really emotionally hard for me.
Oftentimes people have fetuses implanted in them. They have fetuses removed from them. And so the purposes of it, we feel, are the production and manufacture of these hybrid babies, these hybrid beings.
They've gone in with needles through my abdomen. They have gone in through the vagina and taken out small, what looked like fetuses that couldn't possibly survive.
More and more memories of her past abductions resurfaced through hypnosis.
The chance of all these people from all over the world speaking different languages have the same daggone dream. See, describing the same little beings. What is the chance, what is the possibility of that? You know what I'm saying? But they want to tell you, whatever said they see a flying saucer straight, none of it pops up. Then comes the fanatical monotheistic believers, be they Christian, Jews, or Muslim with their spookism. And the best thing they can do is say, ain't flying saucers, you see must be from the devil. So the devil got flying saucers now. The devil is no longer a little red man with horns that we saw in the hot dog park. The devil is now little brave people with big blue eyes. You understand? The ones that have children by human on a cloud and saved them from all of this mess. The same man created the mess. The same man of being the creative hand to stop the mess. Now he didn't want you to have the experience of abduction of UFOs. Why does it exist? See, in one respect, they think the Muslims and believe in Allah and God, right? And then in another respect, when you put them to the test of that belief, all of a sudden you get shot. You say, well, then why is God allowing this to happen to us? Not to me, per se, but to any little innocent girl or any woman who has a baby snatched out of a womb, even if she believes it. That's the intellectual society said. We say, well, do you believe she really had an abduction? Know what the game is? I believe she believes it. What the heck does that mean? I believe she believes it. They believe they're saying she's not. Now, certain men have made it their life studies out from country to country. And he translated to translate these things. Now they're considered crazy. Why? Because the reality, or I should say, the religious reality of the return of God was never addressed as how. And now, when we get to the point where how comes in, how is God is coming out the sky. Him and his heavenly host. Right? So now that God is coming out the sky as extraterrestrials, the crazy that already had Michelangelo draw their own picture of God, and it wasn't an extraterrestrial, it wasn't a little way. And they touch it close down. So their best tactic is anything that they can't deal with once you done. You talk to Muslims, you say, you know, there's mistakes in the Quran, in the Arabic language. They call you shaitan. Before they say proof. But there are things that you might be able to prove. Show you there down on time. When you confront a Christian, minister say, let's discuss the Bible. I say, but you know what? That's not the Bible. Let's discuss it because. I want to work with your belief, word by word, verse by verse, chapter by chapter. Let's see if it stands the test of time. You know, an ultimate test is, why is all this shit happening? Why can't God stop it? This is what other guys asking the world to ask anybody. Whether they're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, why, if they're all loving, all caring, all powerful, all this crap you be preaching, why doesn't he stop the mess with the will of his hand? You know, they say, oh, he don't work like that. Oh, you know how he works. See, the man got to continue to lie. You got to keep perseverting when you put him on the spot. How do you know how God works? You can't go by the Bible. Well, the Bible, when he said, I'm tired of Sodom and Gomorrah, your niggas going to be burned. And Jericho got to go. Jericho. So now, all of a sudden, the world now is a worse state than it's ever been from the we got more than one time Sodom and Gomorrah now. According to their beliefs, of course. And why is it that we're on it all reverends, gathering together, holding hands and telling God, stop it, God. We beg. Why are marching around wherever, like they did in Jericho, 7 times their horn, and go, and all wicked cities fall. How come you don't have the power anymore? Mythological stories played in our field. They never happened. They never found the ruins of Jericho. They never proved there was a Sodom and Gomorrah. There's no proof of it. There's no proof there amongst the Egyptians that there ever was a Joseph there. It's not written in the Egyptian how to live. You need to be saved. You just haven't been touched by God. And the reverend that leading us, high blood pressure. He's saying this, sing it out, talking about how God talked to him. We had a conversation with God last night about what to tell the congregation today, and he don't ask God, well, why you ain't God? I want to fix this little problem I got. While we in conversation, I know you do it. I say, faithful, I know you busy, I know you got time for one more. You know why he knows? Because there would be no response. The speech is laying on hands to heal people in their sin. The Bible clearly tells them, by your faith will you be whole. That's in Matthew 15. When a woman came to get healed by Jesus, and Jesus called her a dog. Did you know that? Yeah. He called her a dog and refused to touch her. Then she left him, probably insulted because God don't touch me, got a big problem. Left and then left him away to the disciples. The disciples told me, we know this woman, send her away. Do you know that's in the Bible? Because he called the dog right after the girl was a swine. And the woman grabbed on to hell of his dog. There the preacher steps in. And the whole sermon on that hell of his dog. But not on the arrogance of Jesus. That they will touch, but the hell of his dog. Touch the hell of his dog. There's songs about it, they say. But they won't read the whole part of the chapter to you. Where he insults the woman and won't hear her. And because she had more faith in him than he had in her, she healed herself. As the Bible says, by your faith were you made whole. Your father said, so where's the power to cure? Where's the power to heal? It's inside you. It must be stirred inside you. Sometimes you need an outside vessel. I mean, a man who knows what static electricity that is. Prances around the church floor with leather shoes on a rug. That's why they don't got them big old pretty rugs up there. They running back for her. They get their body charged up. And then you swing in the audience, the water, the rug, the electricity, and they touch you and go in the spark. And you hit the ground. Oh, Lord, Jesus! You can do that in your house. You can roll around the day, it'll be on the rug, the walk up and go, pow! Decide to shock the hell out of my sister. Pow! What about Lord Jesus? They're going to lay on him. I felt the spark of Jesus. You felt the spark from the electricity or electricity on the water. And that's know why? Because they didn't play fair. We gave them our best. We slaved, we took abuse, we got called nigger, we got called, what they call snakes, we got called every dang thing. But we kept on working. We ran to church on Sunday and listened to the lies. Repeated lies. Listen to the preaching, making stuff up. Good show. Little gospel, some chicken, some picnics, all the families gathering. You know, it's an organization. They ain't nothing to do with God. God ain't been in one church or denomination. The Christians can't decide on what Jesus looks like. Every church has a different Jesus. Their Christians say, we Christians don't work. We Christians work kind. All the churches you know were founded by Freemasons. Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witnesses, Baptists, Pentecostals, Lutherans, all of them were founded by Freemasons. And not Negro, not Prince Hall Freemasons, y'all. The Prince Hall Freemason lodge is still not accepted to this day. You understand? They lost it. Lodge 429 was at 1775, after the Revolution, where Prince Hall and a host of men assisted the British here in Boston, on this side. They initiated them the same way the Civil War, they initiated by all the officers in the Civil War had to be Freemasons on both sides. The Confederates, the North and the South were both Freemasons. You know what I mean? Check it out. You know I proved it.
Right.
With all the big clock, resulting in a lot of people losing their lives. They founded the churches. Because I've been trying to convey to y'all in the recent months, light represents blindness. You understand? Light doesn't represent knowledge. That's only in monotheism, in religious beliefs, where they have you believing in nothingness. So there is nothing to see. So they say light is intellect, light is the knowledge. You understand? Light is blindness. No darkness has ever blinded anybody. But they'll tell you, don't stare at the sun. Don't stare at an eclipse of the sun, because the light will, and in the second verse they tell you, come into the lodge and walk from darkness into the light. And that light is religion. Ignorance. Not ignorance, ignorance. Oh yeah, the difference. Have you believing? Giving you faith, no facts, no confirmation, and dare not challenge what you do, you're a company, you're a dangerous man, you're a charismatic, blasphemer, and heathen. to 7 feet tall. Long, blonde hair, and the most beautiful blue eyes you could ever see. Flawless skin. They came to me and told me they got nothing for the world. Hello? Angels. And they came from another star. Up there where an intellectual being moves. They have order and peace. God. So now we have reptilians replacing the devil. Little tormentors and tormentors who go away. They're replacing the demons and devils. Blonde hair, blue eye, tall alien types that come to help you with replace the angels. And this divine being real well. And it's beginning to work because people believe that there's life on other planets. Not because a bunch of crazy people, which they classify me in, say it, but because NASA now has confirmed. Oh yeah, well there was water on Mars. You see the canal. Don't stop there. Say something. Oh, wait, stop. What? Did you just say? You said water on Mars. Mars, open it back up. Because you have 30 weeks, 30 Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, and age based on the heat, and it's only the sun. It has to be the most important. Now, if there's life on Mars, in any form, I don't care if it's a reverse cell animal that breathes dirt with it. I don't care what you want, but any form of life that has any form of intelligence, because human beings say intelligence by hands. There ain't deer hunters, there ain't turkey hunters here. No turkey is smarter than you. You don't find out like Thanksgiving dinner because you're on the table with that slot. When you go try to hunt a turkey, and you go down, they will put up behind you and sit there. And they wait like an hour and right like this. And when they find these guys, they're like, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just think about what I just said. And think of the depths of it. And think why they're afraid of people like me, who are gifted with that insight to probe into those things and make little things sound clear. It's time, that's why. It's time for us to know this. This gives you another kind of ambition. So you got to hold on to that. You're all over that. Come on, I'm going down. God gave me room for you. I want to know how I'm going back to you with this God. Come on, I know some pieces of hide up in there. Come on now. Hey, come on, you have the right to stand and defend your God. Go on, preach. Come on, Muslim, you need hide too. You know you ain't got no answer. You're as baffled as everybody else sitting here. But fortunately for us, we're on the other side of beliefs and fiction. So it don't bother us. It's just a joke to us. Well, hell, if you came here with a religious belief, I just put a dent in your stuff. The best you can do is go investigate what I'm saying. If you don't know that much about AIDS, research it and find out, damn, that's true. A bacteria has outsmarted God. See, the simplest, you were smart enough to figure out where it came from and how to adjust it. Right? So then, your God got away. They said, well, we're going to have to cure for AIDS. There's no cure for AIDS. They may come up with a prevention by giving you a kind of bacteria that will prevent the AIDS from attacking the body, but the AIDS virus will always exist. Nobody dies from AIDS. Did you know that? They say they die from AIDS. They die when their immune system breaks down and whatever attacks them takes their life. It takes away the shield that God gave you against AIDS and HIV. That means maybe God left you. You're out there on your own, a well, thank you, God. No protection. The protection that God gives every animal way to survive and every body. I'm chopping right there so you can get a piece of what I made. You know? And some of you Americans right now went off to Jamaica. Not that far. One of us the other day. Went to Jamaica and went to the water and took a glass of water along with 3 of us Jamaicans who never left Jamaica. And say they came to America. They still there. You go back home, these are cousins of yours. Y'all can run down the lake together and laugh and put a cup of water in there and start drinking, you're going to ask me dead. You'll catch malaria. You start to get chewed up by mosquitoes or cholera and another other disease. Don't mention that. It's even worse if you go out and try to drink the water. What does it mean? It means that human beings are on different mutation levels and their immune systems are on different mutation levels. People in America, the immune system is not as strong as people in Africa or in the Caribbean. That means God did give you a protection for the environment that you're in. When you leave America and go to Africa and drink the water, you're breaking the divine law. You know what I'm saying? But if you stay in Jamaica and drink the water, or stay in Manila and drink the water, it doesn't matter how many years. You stay in America and drink the water. It doesn't have to be city water or chlorine. It can be well water in America. But when you leave this country and go to drink water in a foreign country, you go to divine law. As an animal, you were bred to be where you are. So they work the divine plan. So when they die, they go to mind into hell. I don't care whether you were Africa, Jamaica, or America. I'm taking bacteria to kill the egg like that. When did God leave? When did God prove that protection? And then next time. Now the man is wrong. How many different types of things do you think? And you think he thinks is just one thing. That's another card. all kinds of things happen. And it's new diseases that they brought out the rainforest. John, one of them was called Ebola. What is Ebola do? What does it do? The people, now he's a doctor, an MD, not a theologian. It causes people's cells to explode. Your blood, your red coffee will explode. You start to hemorrhage it. In the matter of fresh blood cells are being produced. This is God. Yeah? God planned it that way. So if you lose blood, your body will start producing blood in 6 to 8 weeks, and you can get red blood again. But you go into the rainforest and go into the place called Ebola place, and saw down some trees and release some dormant entity that was born and lived on earth thousands of years before you, and you have mutated further up the ladder. We talked about this last night, right? Now some disease gets released that's primitive. That's what they showed in Jurassic Park. They'll give you the dinosaur story. They're not talking about the way the dinosaur breathed, the water the dinosaur drunk. He would die anyway. He couldn't live on this evolutionary stage. So if they made a dinosaur, he couldn't survive because there's not enough bacteria in the food or the water to sustain his body. He would fall out and die because mutating and evolution are working together. I'm listening. So you find a man that is 20,000 years old and dig him up. Unless he stays in that area, that far beneath the soil, where on that level, because that's how paleontologists investigate, they tell by the changing of the soil, how many layers have laid on top of it, and each layer represents thousands of years of evolution. So if you go down 200 feet, and you find a body down there, he needs to live in that environment. He can't come up here where things have changed. But when you open up bacteria or living entities, then they must go into a being or animal that is capable of adapting. Yes. See, lions will stay in their habitat if we didn't go kidnap them and put them in zoos. Right? They would not volunteer to go to Atlanta Zoo and become a drug addict. You're entertained. They wouldn't do it. They kick your ass when you came there. They hit you. Only one animal on the planet. Not birds flying. Migrates from place to place. Moves into environments where he has to pick in his clothes. He said, why I say that?